I know this place.
Yeah, I can't get it on it.
Hello, hello. Who's on the Samsung so we can identify all the people that are on the call? You're on the Samsung. Just tell us your name and we'll rename you on the in the chat.
Kurt Barker.
Kurt Barker. Is that K or C, Kurt?
C. It's actually
C.
Curtis.
Curtis. All right, Curtis. We're gonna just rename you so we can.
Thanks for jumping on, Curtis. Van.
Yes. All right. Curtis Barker. Welcome. All right. Well, welcome everybody to our weekly Sunday team huddle. And for those of you who are new, we do this every Sunday. The purpose of this call is to give you additional insight into how to build your LifeWay business. We also cover topics that you may have challenges with. You know, as you start to build your business, you're gonna have challenges, and that's part of having a successful business. And again, with that challenge, we have ways to address it by one sharing what works for each other. And I get the concept from football or basketball. I played basketball at a high level for a long time till I was in my 60s, and I finally got injured. I ruptured my Achilles in an old timers all-star game, out playing outdoors nonetheless. But nonetheless, one thing I learned about sports, a lot of what I learned about success comes with sports. In sports, you learn about teamwork. You learn about what works, what doesn't work. Just like for example, a lot of today's football, a lot of guys like to watch football, and women too, on Sundays. And in football, what happens is, you go into the game and you have a game plan, and things happen during the course of the game uh, that either go against or work for you. Again, other team doing the same thing. So you have a plan on what you want to accomplish. The other team has a plan of what they want to accomplish, and it's really like a strategy thing. So what happens is, let's say you go into halftime and you're down, so you have to kind of come together and say, okay, what can we do? What can we do better in the next half of this game to pull it out and win? Or if you're up and winning, you say, okay, what can we continue to do better? That's helping. So we look at it the same way. It's a strategy. We come together on a weekly basis, and I generally ask if you have something that you want to see covered during the course of our huddle, just let us know during the week. You can contact me directly, let your success coach know. We don't use the word upline. Upline again, a lot of people still have that when they think about network marketing and upline, it has a negative connotation to some people's eyes. So when you're sharing this opportunity with people, refer to your business partners as just that. They're either your business partner or they're your success coach, but there's somebody that's helping you have success. So first and foremost, let's welcome all our new members. I see Kurt just joined us for the first time. So welcome, Kurt. You can, if you just want to come off mute, just say your name and where you're from and maybe who enrolled you. So we have an account for who's on the call. So go ahead. If you want to introduce yourself, feel free to come off camera, identify yourself. And again, don't be shy. This is, it seems like a formal call, but it's meant to be informal. So who wants to go first?
Anthony Stroman,
David from
Atlanta.
Kentucky.
All right, I heard Anthony Stroman from North Carolina. I heard David Reed from Kentucky. Hey, David, who else we have?
I'd like to give a testimony after a while too.
Okay, so right after we do the introductions, we'll start with your testimony. Not a problem. Who else do we have on?
Karen Haynes, Gainesville, Georgia.
Hello, Karen Haynes. Hello, who we have?
Deborah White from Dover, Delaware.
Right, Delaware in the house. Who else do we have?
Mike Huggins, Jamestown, North Carolina.
North Carolina represent heavy. Who else do we have in the call? Man, don't be shy. We don't bite.
Emerson Gibson, Greensboro, North Carolina.
Hey, Emerson, good to see you. Hope you're feeling better today.
Yeah, we're getting there.
Okay. Who else do we have? Some people are coming on the call as we speak.
Curtis Barker.
Curtis Barker. Welcome again, Curtis. And I see Mr. Willie Seward. How you doing, Willie? I see
am super. Good to be here.
All right. I see Candy, No Cane. Okay. And who else do we have? Lynn Hicks, welcome to the call. And somebody I see number 270. Who's 270? Is that you, David? Whose number starts at 270 970 9518?
Yeah, that's me.
That's you, David? Okay. So what we're going to go ahead and do is, David, since you came on, you have a testimony to share. That's always great. So David Reed from Kentucky, go ahead and share your testimony.
Yes, sir. If anybody new on here, I think they'll benefit from this. I was up at 3 o'clock this morning. I put on an X39 and I put on an energy patch. I took off for Vicksburg, Mississippi. I've been on a road for exactly 15 hours right now, 900 miles, and I feel just as good right now as when I got out of bed this morning.
Wow.
Wow. That's incredible. And how young are you, David?
I'm only 82.
Woo! That's incredible. That's a powerful testimony. So if you're going to do a long trip and you're worried about your energy, take that recommendation. So appreciate that. Thank you, David.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Anybody else want to share testimony? Anything new happened to this week that's exciting and that you want to share with the rest of the team, whether it's a personal testimony, a testimony of somebody you might have shared a patch with, or something with regards to your business, maybe a meeting somebody new and exciting. And that's always exciting when we have new people, because that means more people are getting healed and more people are in a position to improve their financial situation. Anyone else? All right. If not, let me go and pull up the agenda. I'm just going to go to what we
Gary?
Yes, sir. Mr. Seward, the floor is yours.
You know what? I have the testimony of my mom, really.
Let's hear it.
My,
Let's hear
my
it.
mother is 92 years old, and she's had some up and down situations, some things that's happened to her in the last couple of years. And so recently she was hit pretty hard with this arthritis and different things like that. And she still does everything herself. She drives, she does everything. But once she was driving and I tried to get her to look at something and she couldn't turn her neck. She's like, she couldn't turn her neck, her knees was swelling and different things. And so I gave her some patches. And at first she would take one and then 2-3 days later take another one and it wasn't working. And so finally she took some consistently and I asked her, so, and she's one of those type of folks that really doesn't believe anything until she knows it really happens.
Right.
So she finally got some consistent days in and I asked her, how's your neck? She's like, it's feeling better. The next day I asked her, how's your neck feeling? She's like, it ain't hurting at all. She said, it is not hurting. I said, well, what about your knee? It's not hurting either.
Wow.
So yeah, it's kind of a small thing for some folks, but for her it was a huge thing because I'm serious. She could not move her neck to the right at all. So
Awesome.
it's working for her too.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. Again, and that's the beauty of it. Like I said, we have an opportunity to change lives, and I wish more people at least be open to hearing about the patch. I mean, you explain it to them, it makes sense, but some people are so conditioned to taking medication and drugs, and we respect our doctors. They're great for identifying what needs we have, but again, most doctors go to school to learn how to treat, not to prevent. So they usually wait for the treatment, what you need, before they can actually recommend. And oftentimes they'll recommend a drug. And again, a lot of the drugs have side effects. A lot of the drugs don't work the way they should. That is why oftentimes you go to a doctor, he'll recommend something and you realize it's not working or things get worse. And you go back to the doctor and immediately say, okay, let's try something else. The key word here is try, again, because again, a lot of times they don't know themselves. They just going based on what they say that they does, but everybody's body is different. And unfortunately some people become dependent on the drugs so much so that they have to start taking different drugs to counter the drug they're taking. You take one drug, it does one thing, but it causes something else. They got to take a different drug. And when I hear people taking 10, 15, 20 drugs a day. I mean, I can't keep track of 2 vitamins a day, and I can't even imagine 21 different drugs and taking on a regular basis, all the side effects and impacts it has. God designed our body to heal us. So we are on a crusade. We are crusaders for health. We're in a position to really help people change lives. I don't know if you guys was on the call Thursday. At the end of the call, Willie got back on, and Willie, for those you don't know Willie Stewart's story, him and his two of his brothers were on a crusade to find ways to have better health, way before they even heard about the patch. And he lost one of his brothers, and I'm sure had he had an opportunity to share with him before that time, again, who knows what difference it could have made in his life. We've had people that have had their life extended. For those of you who don't know Ken Robinson is one of our leaders. He actually he's one of the people that made the $1 Million Club. 27 people have joined the $1 Million Club in less than in 3 years or less, who are part of this team that we are part of. So the system that we have, not only does it work, is you have to, if you just follow it and be consistent and persistent, it will happen for you. Ken was diagnosed with a cancer. They gave him 3 months to live. He actually lived a little more than 2.5 years longer, and many attribute that to the benefits of the X39. But again, he didn't tell anybody he was sick. He was so focused on helping people that he would do presentations in between throwing up. He would be travel to places and be sick in between, and he would kind of mask it. But he was committed to the end. But what he did was he left his family a legacy. His wife and he was a partner with his wife, and they have a son. They received again their $1 million belt at the convention in Orlando. And again, so we just want to let you guys know that this is real. This opportunity is here. So let's not be weary, and let's definitely take advantage. So let me just go through the agenda real quickly. Gentlemen, we welcome our new members. So welcome everyone who will join. We always talk about mindset and belief because your mind, what you think about is what you bring about. So if you have the right mindset, your mind is probably the most powerful thing that you have, because the great thing about your mind is if you have a thought or idea, guess what? You have the ability to change it immediately and and go a different course. You have complete control over that. So your mindset and your belief in the product, belief in the company, belief in the person who shared it with you, belief in your own testimonies. Again, you hear testimonies day in and day out, and there's always new testimonies literally every week. So again, even if you're not experiencing something right away, $600 million worth of patches, that means can't be wrong. And again, and growing. So again, that's a testament to the benefits and how it's working. So if it doesn't work for you immediately, some people it takes a little bit longer because you can't always see what the patch is doing. Some people will take months. Some people will take a few weeks. Some people will be 30 minutes. Some people will be 30 seconds, because again, the body is different, and the patches and your stem cells are going to look for things that you may not know need more attention than simply pain or discomfort. So keep that in mind. Staying connected. I'm going to talk about ways for you to stay connected. One of the biggest things you could do to be successful is to stay plugged in. The fact that you were all on this call says a lot, and I pay attention to that a lot because I notice the people who are having success are the people that I see on the calls, that I see on the presentation, that are plugged in, that call and ask questions. I get calls every once in a while. Somebody will call me who hasn't done anything for 6 months, and they ask me questions. What's my website? How do I sign in? Things that, again, if you were plugged in, you wouldn't have to ask those questions. So it's important to stay connected. That's very important. We're going to have Dr. Stroman talk about the art of communication. That is very important. Not just what you say, but how you say it makes a difference. And if you're not having success, it's sometimes just a matter of tweaking not only the words you said, the way you say it, the energy in which you say it. That can sell out. We have a saying that I'd rather have somebody who is ignorant on fire than somebody who is knowledgeable on ice. And that simply means if you got somebody who's excited, they really don't know what they're saying. They may not know all the details, but they're so excited that people want to find out what are they talking about. Versus somebody who has all information, they have all the facts. They can tell you everything you know about stem cells, but their approach is dry and boring, and it really doesn't move you. Again, I'd rather have somebody who's ignorant on fire than somebody who's knowledgeable on ice. And you're going to see that as well. We'll talk a little bit about the 21-day challenge. For those of you, if you did not watch yesterday's training, we have a training every Saturday. Now, I implore you to put that on your calendar. And if you can't make the 1 o'clock challenge, usually within a half an hour after that call is done, they have the replay. Yesterday, they had a pastor. His name is Shuttlesworth. He has a book. He's the book of the month that they post on our site is by him, and he was at the convention in Orlando. That training he did yesterday was phenomenal. I'm going to watch it again. If you haven't seen it, please go and watch it in the course of your day. You will be blessed by it. And also, if you get a chance, get his book. He has some things to share that even I haven't heard. I mean, not in the manner in which he shared it. And that is why it's important to get on as many calls as you can. I know some people say, "Well, I've been on the presentation before. Why do I need to get on again?" Because if you're not doing a presentation, you need to be listening as well until you do. And as much as I do presentation, I still listen to the presentation because every once in a while I'll hear something that gets my attention and I'll tweak something or I'll use something. So when you hear my presentation, it's literally a combination of maybe 20, 30, 50 different people that I've heard over the course of listening to these presentations. So you have to master the mundane. And the best way to do that is listen to the presentation over and over again. And until you can do it yourself, you need to keep listening in. I'm going to talk about compensation plan basis because, again, we do have some new people, and we do have, again, we are going to have an upgrade to the compensation plan in October after the convention in California. Right now, we get paid 4 different ways. The company, and David Schmidt is so generous, he wanted to increase the not only the number and percentage of people getting paid. So they're going to have 9 different ways we get paid after October. So some of the things that you're doing, you're going to be doing the same thing, but you're going to get paid more for doing the same thing. If that makes sense. So again, I'm going to just talk about the basics so you understand it from as it is today, and master that. And again, until that compensation plan is released and after October, just focus on the basics that I'm going to cover. Art of inviting. I may show that if we have time. There's a gentleman named Eric Worre. Eric Worre is probably the most prominent trainer in network marketing today. He's considered probably one of the best. He has a 500-seat studio in Las Vegas. He has a lot of trainings and videos on network marketing, but one in particular that I love is called The Art of Inviting by Phone. It's only a 12-minute video, but he really breaks down how to properly invite. I mean, it's one thing to call somebody and say, hey, I'd like you to get on the Zoom tomorrow. Can you make it? And they say yes, and then you hang up the phone. That is not an invite. Again, that is not an invite. There's more steps that you need to take to confirm the invite. And again, if I get a chance to show it, I will. If not, again, many of you, I'll give you the link for it. You can look it up on YouTube. It's called The Art of Inviting by Phone, and it's only about 12 minutes. So if I have time, I'll cover that. And then I'll do a Q&A. So if you have any questions about anything we covered today, please feel free to jot it down and ask it at the end or even in between. If you have a question and can't wait, just raise your Zoom hand or come off mute and just jump in again. This is meant to be an interactive call. So again, I want you to be interactive. Particularly when Dr. Stroman gets on, you better be ready to be interactive because he's going to definitely challenge you. All right. All right, so welcome new members. We did that already. So these are the resources. This is how you stay connected. You can take a quick screenshot and or if you write it down. This is the info.com. That is our website. That is your tool. If you don't remember anything else about this business, if you remember this site, this is how you build your business. This is it. Info is the site. There's 3 videos, and when you give somebody the link and just show you a quick way to share the opportunity. If you speak more than 10 minutes when you talk about the opportunity to somebody, you're probably saying too much. So when I talk to somebody in the course of a conversation, I may call somebody and say, hey, Dr. Stroman, how you doing? Listen, I'm calling for a specific reason. I'm not going to beat around the bush and say, well, how's the kids? And then at the end, bring it up because, again, they feel like, okay, now that's why you really call. So let them know up front, listen, I'm calling you for a specific reason. What do you know about stem cells? It doesn't matter the response. Some people will know some people will know nothing. Some people know a little. Some people know a lot. And you say, great, did you know that by the time you turn 30, half your stem cells go dormant? And by the time you turn 60, over 90% of your stem cells go dormant. And the stem cells are the healing substances in our body. And that's how we heal. Great. So listen, I'd like to send you some information about this technology that's helping people heal. What's the best way to send it? By text or email? And if they're open to hearing about it, so I'm going to send you this link. Listen, I want you to watch the first 3 videos. It's only going to take you 10 minutes. When can you watch it? If it's today, okay. Listen, it's okay if I call you back, say half an hour after that. Great. If it's tomorrow, great. If it's okay, I call you back. So what you're doing is you're always following up. You never let a lead dead end. What I mean by that, you never just send somebody the link, ask them till they watch it, and then that's it. Because you've ended the lead. What you want to do is give them an opportunity to agree to either have you call them back or watch it. And then when you call them back, it's a simple question. Hey, Aunt Dr. Stroman, did you get a chance to watch the link? Great. What did you like most about what you saw? Let them tell you what they like and then say, great. And always assume they have questions. Listen, I know you have questions, but listen, I'm working with a success coach. I'm working with my business partner and they can better answer my questions for you. When's a good time for us to get on a call with you so you can get your questions answered? They may start asking questions, and the best thing you can say is, "Listen, I'm brand new. Even if you've been in for a year, you're brand new, right? You're always brand new. Listen, I like to get my partner on the line answer the questions you have. Some people will, some won't. But again, this is what the steps are. Once you get them on a call, you call. Let's say I'm working with Vidita Monk or let's say I'm working with Van. I say, listen, Van, I got this gentleman, Dr. Stroman. He said he liked the idea that we can help people heal and opportunity can make money. He said he's available to get on a call tomorrow. So I'll set up a call, 3-way call with Van and Dr. Stroman. When I get on a call with them, I always introduce the guest to the speaker, never the other way. So I'll say, Dr. Stroman, I'd like to introduce you to Van. Van, this is Dr. Stroman. And what I do is that's when I just, I may say something about him before I get on the call, but I don't want to do it in front of him. I don't want I don't want Van to hear, I want Dr. Stroman to hear me talk about how great Van is. I'm going to tell him about Van before I get him on the call, so I already know. So once I get on the call, all I'm doing is setting up the 3-way call, and what the 3-way call does, because Van and me and Dr. Stroman we know each other, so there's a trust there, but he may not respect me because maybe I owe him $5 that I never paid him. Maybe I presented 5 other things to him. Maybe he saw me fail before or give up on something. So, but if I edify and talk well about someone else who's having success, they will more likely want to hear from him. And all man's going to do is ask Dr. Stroman what he liked, ask him, a couple of questions, maybe relate to him, and then ask him, based on what you've seen, are you interested in improving your health? Or are you interested in improving your financial situation? Or are you interested in both? And based on the response that he gets, if he says he's interested in the health only, then you could direct him to become a preferred customer. If he's interested in both, that's obviously a brand partner. And then what that does is going to move into action a lot easier than if you did it yourself. And you're going to hear, ask Emerson if he gets an opportunity, if he's able to talk about his experience with 3 recalls. All right. So then you have the thisisitteam.com. That is our training site. If you haven't been on it, go to thisisitteam.com. You'll find a list of all of the Zoom calls that are there. There's trainings on there, how to onboard. Onboarding is probably one of the first videos you should watch. That's basically how do I sign up a customer or a brand partner. Everything that you need to know in this business is on that site. So if you have a question, go there first, see if you can find it. If you can't find it, not sure, then reach out. But again, this information is there. It's for you. You don't have to wait for somebody to guide you. They also have they actually advance and improve the thisisitteam.com site by creating something called School. And you see the link there. School is basically a series of videos that if you can watch them one at a time, they're very short, most of them. And for example, if you want to know how to onboard is just another word for how do you sign up somebody as either a customer or somebody as a brand partner. And it actually will show you in a video. So you can watch it, replay, watch it, and it'll show you exactly what to do. And then once you watch it, there's a box you can check and say, check mark, I've watched it. And that actually keeps track of your journey. It's almost like getting a degree in a class or something where you can monitor and see that you're learning on a steady basis. Register with LifeWave Corporate. Most of you may have done this when you actually signed up with LifeWave. There is a screen that comes up, but actually, if you want to receive information from LifeWave Corporate, if you do, you're going to get information on a regular basis so you can stay in the loop. There's a link there as well that you can use and go there. If you're not receiving email direct from LifeWave Corporate, please make sure you do so. Also register with Digital Alliance 101. Digital Alliance 101 is just another site that was created by Ken Robinson, the gentleman I talked about. And what he did was he just filled in the gaps, because if you go to the This Is a Team site, they have 2 presentations on Monday at 8 o'clock and 10 o'clock. They didn't have anything on Tuesday. They had another presentation at 8 o'clock on Wednesday. They had a Spanish call on Thursdays at 8 o'clock, and then they had a Friday call at noon. So what we did was, what Ken did, he added more calls in between. So now there's 2 calls on Tuesday at 8 and 10. There's another call on Wednesday. There's another call on Thursday. I usually do a call on Thursdays at 8 o'clock in lieu of the Spanish call. But if you have somebody that speaks Spanish and you want to get them on a Spanish call, and there's a 10 o'clock on Thursday. So if you register with digitalalliance101.com, you'll get notifications when there are calls. So you don't have to wait to get a text from me or from your success coach. You don't have to wait to go to the WhatsApp page. You have access to that. You want to be in control of your own business. You don't ever want to have to wait for someone to send you the information. Become familiar with the days and times of the call. Go to youtube.com. There's a site called This Is It Team. On that site, they actually record all of the calls that are done by Stephen Gina Merritt, the This Is It team. So if you missed a call, for example, yesterday, if you go to that site, the YouTube channel, guess what? You'll be able to watch the replay. You'll be able to watch the replay going back 2 or 3 years, because that's how long of a library they have. And you could also watch different presentations. Again, if if you haven't done a presentation, watch different presentations from different people and develop your own style. You'll find something you like from one, you take something from the other. But again, you have access to this information. You don't have to wait till there's actually a scheduled call to share this opportunity with someone. You can literally invite them to see a replay. Some people say, hey, I'm having a Zoom at 4 o'clock. Are you available? Yes. Get them on the phone, and if you have a Zoom account, you can replay the channel on YouTube, or if you're with them, you can have it played. But I mean, there's so many ways you can use it. There's a facebook.com page. That's a page where you can find information. If you have a question about something and you're looking for help, for example, if you come across somebody who has something that they're dealing with that's unusual or unique, go to the Facebook page and say, hey, has anybody had any experience with autism? and put it in the chat, and you'll be surprised. In fact, you won't be surprised. You'll get so many responses because remember, Lifeways have been around for 21 years now. There have been people that have been in Lifeway for 21 years, and a lot of them are doctors, and a lot of them have experience with different situations. So if you want to find a quick answer, just go to that page and put it in the chat. Or you can actually if you go to the page, just click on search and put in autism. And what'll come up is other testimonials and responses that people that may have asked the question before. And just so those are the resources again. Now there's some events coming up. There's the Share the Light. That's October 22nd and 25th in Anaheim, California. That is the company's annual convention. It's only once a year. It's going to be about 10,000 people. People come from all over the world. You can still register for that event. If you can make it, I definitely implore you to go. If you've never been to a live convention before, it will change your business. It will change your life. It will change how you see this business. There's another event coming up in Atlanta, December the 5th. It's a regional event. It's going to be a weekend event. The 5th and the 6th, that's a Friday and Saturday. I believe that's the dates in Atlanta, Georgia. There's an all-in convention coming up in January. This event's going to be at Warrior Studios. As I mentioned, he has a studio that seats only 500 people. So you can register to go to the event live. It's very limited seating, only 500 seats, but it's going to be mainly a virtual event. So most other people are going to see it virtually all over the world. You'll be able to register for it. It's usually a 2-day event. It is powerful. You're going to hear from all of the top earners in our team, not just in LifeWave. And you may even have David Schmidt there. So that event's going to take place in January. I believe it's the weekend, the 8th or the 9th. So just put these things in the calendar because not only do you want to attend these events, you want to get as many people on your team to these events because the people that are having the most success, they're having success because they're not just getting information by themselves. They're getting information and they're sharing it with their team. The person that has the most people on their team at these events are having the most success because once they go to these live events, their life has changed. They see it in a different light, and they usually go to work at a much higher level once they've been to one of these events. And then next year, in August 7th through the 9th, it's going to be another event called Unstoppable. It's going to be in Orlando, Florida. We just came from an event in Orlando, Florida. I think we had 4,000 people at that event. 27 people were recognized for becoming part of the $1 Million Club. And remember, our team has only been around for 3 years. So again, it's just going to have more and more people do it because again, the information they got from that event is why it happened. So those are the resources. We want to stay connected. And again, if you have any questions about it, make sure you take a screenshot, jot it down. But if you haven't been to any of these sites, make sure you visit them. Make sure you stay plugged in because that is half the battle. Now we're going to shift gears for a minute. You're going to hear a different voice. My friend, in fact, me and Dr. Stroman, many of you may not know, we actually grew up in the same neighborhood, as they call it, in a housing development in South Jamaica, Queens. I haven't seen, I think, Dr. Stroman, it probably was almost 40 years since I reconnected, but he had moved out of New York, and I was following him some time, and then we finally connected. We have a lot of the same goals and dreams. He's a phenomenal speaker. He has a 30-year experience in finance. He has experience in relationships. He does about 8 different classes on business and other stuff. But he's a phenomenal gift to our team. So Dr. Stroman is going to talk about the art of communication. Dr. Stroman, are you ready to get going?
I am ready, Mr. Hawkins. How you
All
doing,
right, the
sir?
floor is yours. Let me stop
Thank
sharing
you,
for a minute.
I appreciate you, Mr. Hawkins. Hey, Hawkins, thank you for the opportunity to share with the team. Thank you so very much, my friend. Well, listen, guys, like Hawkins says, get something to write with. Okay, get something to write with. I'm going to give you a couple of things that maybe assist you when it comes to the art of communication. Now, for the short period of time that we have, obviously, I can't do a deep dive, but I'll try to cover some highlights on some things that can actually improve because everything we do, Hawkins does a fantastic job when he does the presentations every Thursday. Everything is about relationship capital. How you connect with a human being is the key. And you got to get good at this, okay? And anything that you're not good at, you can practice and get good at that. So let me kind of jump right into a few just basic things that you want to consider when you're communicating with somebody. First of all, you must believe that you believe. See, it's not so much that they believe. You must believe that you believe. And that energy comes across. Again, they don't have to believe it at first, but they must believe that you believe. Your tone, your energy, inflection of your voice has everything to do with that. You got to believe, okay? So when you're dealing with the art of communication, it's 100% focus on that person, not on your PIB, not on your commission. It's 100% focusing. And this is a challenge sometimes because we get distracted. Oh, I get this premium. Don't think like that. Focus 100%. Because people can tell if you're focusing on them and caring about them. A term I use sometimes when it comes to, sometimes people get caught up in certain words, selling. So you can replace it and say caring. Okay? So the art of communication. Preparation is the key, folks. Practice, practice, prepare, prepare. I'm telling you, if you prepare, you're going to get better and better. That's why it's important to look at these videos on a regular basis because you're mentally prepared when you talk to somebody. Somebody can tell when you're not confident about what you're saying, and that comes from repetition, the mother of skill. You keep watching these videos, your confidence gets stronger and stronger. They can tell, even if you're not in front of them, they can pick it up in your voice. Sometimes guys standing up can give you more energy when you're talking to people, okay? So let me give you some bullet points and I'm gonna give you some examples. I'm gonna try to do a little role play at the very end. Here's the key: to step into their world without buying into their limitations. Let me say it again. The art of communication is to step into their world without buying into their limitations. Everybody got limitations. And, Mr. Hawkins knows this. I focus so much on headquarters. So when I'm talking to somebody, my mind, like a computer, I'm trying to identify the headquarters that I know how to communicate with them. But anyway, to step into their world, not my world, step into their world without buying, because people got limitations. And I'm going to give you an example in a minute, into their limitations. So it's not selling, it's caring. Now, what I typically do, I'm good at asking questions and listening. This is a skill that you got to work on, everybody. Because some of you, and we all have to work on, including myself, we coming up with our answer before we first hear what they're saying back to us. You have to relax and listen intently. Listening is with your heart, not with your ears. So the power of questions and listening is key. Now, what I typically do, if they're not driving or in a store, I typically tell everybody I'm talking to, I call it GAP, G-A-P, get a pen. You know why? Because the eye gate is very powerful. I don't talk to anybody unless, again, if they're driving and they can't talk, that's a different deal. But I'm communicating with somebody, I always tell them, I don't care if it's a bishop, pastor, doctor, it don't matter. Can you do me a favor and get a pen and something to write with? I'll wait. I do that all the time. Now they're taking me more seriously because, see, when I share things with them, they're writing it down because the eye gate is very important. It's very powerful when they can see it. Because people don't remember everything that you say. Even when we see these Zooms week after week after week, you don't remember anything. You have a filter in your brain. But when you get somebody to write things down, they're going to remember the conversation. So make sure use the word gap. Get a pen. Get a pen. I do that all the time, folks. Get a pen. I'll give an example. I had a presentation with a doctor. I did the same thing. Now, here's another key to communicating. Repeat back what they told you, because sometimes we can get lost in the translation. You can use a word that they don't understand and vice versa. To make sure I understand, you repeat it back to them. Repeat back what they told you. Repeat back what they told you. Now they know that you're listening. People in our society now feel invisible. But when you repeat back what they told you, they said, oh, this man or this young lady is really listening to me. Now their confidence and trust in you begin to increase. So I'm always, let me repeat back what you said. You said, et cetera, et cetera. Did I get that right? Oh yeah, that's right, Mr. Stroman. So repeat back what they told you. Now they know that you're listening. So let me give an example. I want all of you to consider doing a deeper dive when you're talking about the finances and the health. Here's an example. If I'm talking to somebody with type 2 diabetes, here's my conversation. Wow, how long have you had that? 10 years. Let me ask you a question. How is it affecting your life and your family? Now you're getting the emotions out. How long is it affecting you and your family? Next thing I'll say, How soon would you like to have victory over that type 2 diabetes? How soon would you like to have victory over the type 2 diabetes? This is key. Now, if you're talking to somebody as far as business is concerned, same thing, just different words. Your finances, your financial issues that you tell me about, how is your financial lack of finances affecting you and your family? To give me an answer, you got to pause, guys. Learn to pause. Sometimes we throw up on people. Da 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 da. You got to pause. Wait for the response. This is very important. The art of pausing, relax and pause. So, the financial issue, how's it affecting you and your family? How soon would you like to develop a financial master plan so you can wrap a financial curtain around your family? How soon would you like to develop a financial master plan so you can wrap a financial curtain around your family? They're going to tell you, pause, wait for the response so your family can be free. Wait for the response. Okay? Now, go deeper. What does freedom look like to you? Guys, remember, we're getting into their world. So you got to picture, you want them to picture their future. You want to be like an artist, and you put that person in a frame. Whatever they desire of a life, you got them in that frame. So you have to paint the picture and put them in the frame. When they see themselves vacationing, retirement accounts, no more bill collectors, no more financial stress, relationships improving, giving more to the church community, whatever it is, when you put that picture, put them in that frame, they begin to see themselves. So you have to be able to let them see themselves by putting them in the frame. If you can get a picture in your mind, I got to put this person in a frame to let them see what their future can be if they join LifeWave. So that's what I wanted to make sure all of you do if you want to consider that. Sometimes we kind of talk surface. You got to go deeper. Bring the emotions out and let them talk. The other thing I do, guys, I don't talk to anybody unless I have a piece of paper in front of me. Because guess what I do? I collect what I call intel. I get to know them. How many people in your family? Oh my goodness, you got 3 kids? What are the age? I get involved with their family. Okay? What kind of work do you do? Is it stressful? Guys, I get intel because I'm using this information when it's time for me to go ahead and get them to make an intelligent decision. I can repeat back to what they told me. Now, they know I'm listening. Okay? So, there's a few little pointers right there. But let me kind of give you something else as far as 4 different situations here that I'm going to go through very quickly. Now, I use a 1-pager, guys. That's what I use for my presentation. So here's the deal. I'm going to give you 3 doctors that I'm speaking to and 1 pastor. Now, some of you haven't heard me talk about this thing called a silent partner, but I created something called Silent Partner 2.0. Okay? So, a silent partner, for those who hear on the first time, is somebody who's super, super, super busy. They don't have time to get on websites, videos, following people. It's too much. So I call it Silent Partner 2.0. This is for those that are professional people that are extremely busy. So this is my presentation. This is 3 doctors and 1 pastor. And I'm going to break it down what I said to them. Okay? Now, the first example, let me kind of set it up for you. One doctor, we were talking, and he knows about stem cell, how explosive the industry, $30 billion. He knows of that. So he says to me, and you guys can help me out. He says, can I invest into the company to buy stocks? Now, we both know, I think we all know that you can't do that because we're brand partners, right? But his interest is in investing. Of course, me, I'm listening to him. Your investment be $1,750, and you have unlimited amounts of millions of dollars that you can create. You can take that money and invest in what you want to invest it in. See, I'm listening to what he said because we're not doing the IPO deal, okay? So one doctor came up with that. Now I know how to counteract that conversation by you can become a millionaire and invest in whatever you want to invest in. Since he's interested in stock and investments and returning his money, make a couple of $1 million with LifeWave and invest the money. See, it's all about listening. Headquarters. Everything is about headquarters. Now, that's one example. I'm going to do a role play with another doctor here in a second. The other doctor And this is what you guys face all the time, she wants to know and see how it works for her body first. Listen to this, and guys, you can hear this on a weekly basis. I want to see how it works for my body, my body, my body. Now I'm gonna put a pin on that for a second. The third doctor, medical center in DeKalb County here in Atlanta, Georgia. She's over all these doctors. Now, here's my conversation with her. She's over these doctors. Here's my response, okay? And now she's busy, the whole 9 yards. Listen to my words, everybody. Would you like to earn an additional $100,000 toward your retirement so you will be able to support your ministry and better take care of your family? So again, would you like to earn an additional, now listen, the key word, an additional $100,000 toward your retirement and to be able to support your ministry and to take better care of your family? And at the same time, see, I always have a backup plan. And I won't say this, but I'm thinking it, because she wants me to present to all these doctors. Well, just imagine these 15 doctors deciding to join LifeWave as well. Well, guess what? You're going to override all of those doctors. What's your decision? Because she's going to have me present anyway. So in other words, my message is, if you don't sign up with the premium and you put me in front of those doctors, then I'm signing them up underneath me. Are you okay for me making $100,000 extra off your connections? Guys, I get a little gangster. You don't have to say the words that I said exactly. Okay, use your own words. Okay, it's just an occupational habit, right, Mr. Hawkins? So anyway, just $100,000 towards your retirement. And guys, you can use that with anybody, because see, most of them ain't making $100,000 anyway. So if you say, hey, how would you like to make an additional $100,000? Whoa, okay, you got the attention. To support your ministry, again, you must do intel. You can't say support your ministry and they don't go to a church. That's not going to work. That's why you got to write down everything about them that you can get, okay? To support your ministry and better take care of your family. Now, here's a conversation with a pastor, okay? So I contact a pastor, and this is 2.0, guys, Silent Partner 2.0. Okay, so everybody I'm talking to is for them to be a premium, $17.50 for those that are new on the class this evening, $17.50. I'm not doing core with these people. 100% is $17.50. So this is what I said to the pastor. I said, Pastor, why don't we do this? You become, now I did, of course, guys, I'm shortening it up because, I got to get them, I'm kind of shortening it up for sake of time. Let me ask you a question. I'm always saying that let me ask you a question. When you sign up, listen to my voice, you heard what I just said? When you get the premium, you're going to have 20 sleeves. One for you, one for your wife. The 18 sleeves, you can bless your members that are suffering from health and pain. Watch this, Pastor. When they get these patches and they start getting results, and when they are ready to order, I will have your website. You don't have to touch a computer. I go to your website, and now I'm going to show you how to get your $17.50 back, the investment. How does that sound, Pastor? See, pause. That sounds good, Mr. Stroman. So we signing him up as a premium. It's the communication, the art of communication, knowing who am I talking to. So let me kind of give you something that we've been doing at Lifeway for a long time. I don't know if you know how PayPal got started with Elon Musk. You know what he did? He gave away $20, and now they're worth billions of dollars. That's a hint. We're giving away 3 to 5 patches, right? So I convinced this pastor that go ahead and bless your congregation. See, we ain't doing 3 with this. This is 2.0, guys. We ain't doing giving you 3 patches. We're giving you a whole sleep. I convinced him to give his people that are hurting, hey, time to raise your hand to worship God and they're in pain. You know who they are, Pastor. Bless them with a sleeve, because after 2 weeks or 3 weeks, whatever, Pastor, these patches. Okay, call Dr. Stroman now. I'm going to sign him up underneath his website. Okay? So that idea of giving away 3 patches, it's Elon Musk style. He did that. That's how he did. He gave away millions of dollars, but now they're worth billions. Okay, now I want to respect everybody's time, so I want to do a quick little role play on the second doctor, the one who said something to me. And let me see, my good friend Amber. Amber, can you come off? You don't have to show your face, young lady, but you come off mute. I just want to role play with you for a second.
Hello, Anthony.
Hey, my friend, you my role play queen. You know that, right?
I do know that.
Yeah, I'll look for Amber. Amber got to be on here. I can't role play without Amber. Okay. Now I'm gonna tell you who you are. Okay.
Okay.
You are a doctor. You remember the example I gave about the doctor who said, and let me set it up for you, Amber. And guys, I'm gonna give you 2 different ways. I'm gonna give her the answer 2 different ways, a yay and a nay, and I'll show you how to respond to that. So now here's what happened before we do the role play. Many people are stuck in a cycle of thinking, even though it doesn't make any sense to us. Y'all been there before, right? Some people thinking, it's like, where did that come from? But you got to be cool. You got to be cool. What kind of thinking is that, right? But people are stuck in a cycle of thinking. So everything is not logical, but they're stuck in the cycle. So I met with this lady, this doctor in Chick-fil-A, and she says to me, and Amber, you can say, I'm gonna give you what to say so we can make it more effective here, my friend.
Okay.
I want to see how it works for my body first. Okay, so go ahead and say that to me.
I think I want to see how it works for me first.
Okay, I understand. I understand how you feel. Can I ask you a question, Amber?
Sure.
Okay. For over 20 years, we've been doing this over 20 years. We literally have people all over the world in over 80 countries are getting tremendous results all over the world. People are telling us that they never felt this way, et cetera, et cetera. But here's what I want you to understand. You're basing your decision on your body. How about the thousands of people that don't have your body and they're getting results? Does that make sense, Amber, to you?
That really does make sense.
Okay, now let's pause off you see what I did, guys? I reframed her mindset by being gentle, not being confrontational. Some of your voices, you got to listen to how you sound sometimes, guys, because we don't argue, no confrontation, and any of that. Your tone is important. Notice my tone, a caring tone, right? But if I said it the wrong way, she can become very defensive. Now watch the second part. Now, Amber, I want you to say, I know, but I still want to wait for see what it do with my body. Go ahead, because we got people like that, right, Amber? Go ahead and say that to me.
No, it sounds good, but I still kind of want to see what it does for me.
Okay, very good. I understand. I respect that, Amber. So Amber, you told me that you want me to be on your health show this week coming up, right?
Right.
Okay, I'll be a guest on your show. When they hear what I have to say, I hope you're okay when those 100, 200 people contact me to get the patches. You'll be okay with that if I just go ahead and earn several $1,000s off your listening audience? Will you be okay with that?
Wait. So you're saying my contacts are going to benefit you financially and not me?
Yes, ma'am, because I understand that you want to wait to get results. So in the meantime, we're scheduled to do a show. I'm going to be on your show Wednesday, on your health show as a special guest. They're going to call me, and I'll just go ahead and take care of it. I know right now the money is not important to you, but I'll go ahead and make a couple of $1,000s off your people. And it's okay.
No. That is not okay. That is not okay.
Okay, now watch this, everybody. We're about to finish. Amber, you did great. This is about to finish.
Thank you, Anthony.
This is good. Guess what? I'm going to be on her health show. And by the grace of God, I'm going to rock the house. And them folks, they're going to be getting the patches. Now, there's a possibility, because of the fear of loss, She might say, Dr. Stroman, let me go and get my website up. But it doesn't always work, everybody. It's just that you want to try it and see. But again, don't be confrontational. So let me wrap this up. Let me wrap this up real quick. So thank you, Amber. Great job, my friend. Thank you so very much, Amber. Thank you so much. So just everybody to understand that you got to practice. Practice does not make perfect and makes improvement. What I would recommend that you do if you want to master the art of inviting with your success coaches, just call them up and say, you know what, let's practice one-on-one. And that we can get comfortable communicating with people. But the key is, guys, I'll wrap it up with this. You have to become a better listener. And you have to learn to ask questions. And you have to be a master storyteller. And this is why you have to have the gap thing, get a pen, write down what they're telling you, and then at the very end, repeat back to what they said. One of my key go-to things is when somebody says they got health issues, financial issues, and at the end, when I'm ready to make a decision, I'm like, okay, you ready to go ahead and get free today? Yes. If there's no economic reason, why can't we get it done today? If they do the Michael Jackson, if they do Michael Jackson, then I'm going to say, I'm confused. You said you want to be financially free and you want your body to be free. I'm confused. That statement get them to sometimes do the they sing that song. Y'all know about that. So anyway, hope that helps the team out a little bit. Mr. Hawkins, I'm going to turn it back to you, sir. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Absolutely. Wow. That was awesome training. And just to reiterate with something that Dr. Stroman shared, did you guys hear when he said you guys have 3 ears? Anybody hear that part? Did anybody hear that part when he said you have 3 ears?
Yes.
All right. Who's that?
That's me, Van.
Hey, Van, where's that 3rd ear?
It's the heart.
Absolutely. Those three, you take the word heart and you take the 3 letters in between the word heart, what do you find?
Yep. It's here.
So when you talk to somebody, you have anybody ever said, listen, I feel you when they're talking to you? That means they detect, that's what a heart kicks in. If somebody say, I feel you, that means your heart is talking to their heart. So you want to hear to the T. That's what their ear is. So Dr. Stroman mentioned that. So make sure when you do that, you talk to people's heart. Thank you, Van.
You bet.
Now, I'm going to wrap up soon because I know it's getting close to 9, but we talked about the 3-way call. I'm just going to explain how the 3-way call works very quickly, and we're going to ask Emerson to actually share his experience with using a 3-way call. It's a powerful tool. Again, for those of you who may not be sure and maybe not confident, you have a chicken list of people that you're kind of not sure how to explain it, or you want to, this allows you to get it yourself out the way and then work. So the way the 3-way call works, there's 3 people. There's you. There's your prospects. Those are the people you're talking to about the opportunity. Let me see if I can make this a bigger. Sorry. There you go. And then you have the expert. The expert is basically your business partner, your success coach. Anybody can be the expert. It doesn't just have to be somebody who enrolled you. It could be anybody who's comfortable with just playing a role of, asking a couple of questions. So I'm going to give you an example. People that again, there's between you and your prospect, there's a trust, there's some kind of friendship. You guys know each other. You've communicated, so you have some kind of relationship between them. So they generally trust you, but they don't know the expert. So what you want to do is you want to edify the expert. Edification is simply speaking positive about somebody. We call it edifying, not edifying. You don't make things up. You basically share things you know about them. For example, if I was edifying Dr. Stroman, I was I'm working with a gentleman. He's very knowledgeable. He has a background in finance. He's preaches all around. I mean, he teaches all around the country at major churches. He loves helping people. He's a man of faith, and he knows this business inside out. Right. So what I did is I kind of gave an overview to the person I'm talking to. Now, when you edify a person, what you're doing is you're creating trust now between the expert and your prospect. So when you say those things about them, they say, "Oh wow," because they don't know them, but based on what you shared about them, they're open to hear from them. Now, the relationship between you and the expert is, again, they successful, they knowledgeable, they're helpful, they're fun. Those are just 4 characteristics that you generally want to include. And we talk about different personality types. If you talk about successful, that covers the people who are driven by success. You talk about knowledge, but that covers your engineers, your factual people, the people who want data. Then you have the people that are helpful. You have people that we call, that are nurses, doctors, teachers. They're in the profession. We're like helping people. And then you have people that just like to have a good time. So when you edify something, if you cover all four of those things, you generally will cover all the four personality types you're going to encounter. All right, so let's say you've talked to somebody, you gave them the website, they've looked at it, you call them back and say, listen, what did you like most about what you heard? They start telling you, say, listen, I know you have questions. Don't, I just assume they have questions. They may not, but if you listen, I know you have questions. But listen, I'm working with a gentleman. His name is Dr. Stroman, very successful. He's a leader. He's knowledgeable. He has all the facts. He likes helping people and he loves to have a good time. And he's a man of faith. I like to, he's very busy, but if I can get a minute of his time, a few minutes of his time, I like to introduce you to him so you get your questions answered. What's a good time for us to get on a call with Dr. Stroman? And usually can give him 1 or 2 times. Say, listen, give me a time range because again, he's very busy. I may not get him, but I like to get Dr. Stroman online. He can answer all your questions for you. Great. Now, is everybody going to get on a call? No, but again, this is kind of the process. So let's say I've edified Dr. Stroman, and let's say I'm going to be calling. Let's say Van is the person I'm calling. Now, when I call Van, I say, listen, Van, I know you have questions, but listen, are you okay to get on the call with Dr. Stroman? He says yes and agree. We agreed to a time. So now, before I call Dr. Stroman, before I do the 3-way call, I called Dr. Stroman because I need to let him know, listen, Dr. Stroman, I just met this gentleman named Van. This gentleman is in his 70s, but look like in his 50s. He got a lot of energy. He's a man of faith. I sent him the website. He saw the website. He said he liked the fact that it helps people, and he also interested in the money information. So now what I'm doing is I'm giving Dr. Stroman the information he needs. So when we get on a 3-way call, he knows who Van is. He knows a little bit about him. He can use that to relate to him in the presentation. And I already told Van about Dr. Stroman. So now I make the call to Van and say, listen, Van, I was able to meet Dr. Stroman. He says available between 3 and 4 o'clock, but it's going to be tight schedule. Let me get him on a call. So I call Van first because you never want to call expert first because you never want the expert waiting to hear because Van may not be available. So you don't want to waste their time. You want to value their time, but you want to use it wisely. So I've already spoken to Dr. Stroman. He told me he's available between 2 and 3 o'clock. Now I'm gonna call Van back and say, listen, Van, I was able to catch Dr. Stroman. We got him for a few minutes. Are you ready to get on the call and get the questions answered and meet my partner? Yes. So I put him on hold. If you've never done a 3-way call before, we can show you how to do it. You simply put that call on hold. You add the call to your phone. I call Dr. Stroman while Van is on hold. Hey, Dr. Stroman, listen, I got Van online. Remember the gentleman I told you about? Yes, I do remember. I said, listen, I have him available line, and he saw the information. He likes, and so I let him know. Listen, I want to. He hasn't been on the Zoom, but I like to either I want to invite him to a presentation, or if he saw the presentation, I want to maybe help him make a decision to enroll. So you want to let Dr. Stroman know what is the goal of the call. So let's say the goal of this call is to get him on a Zoom. So I get on this call with Dr. Stroman, and then I click over, say hello, Van. And then Van will say, yes. I said, listen, I have Dr. Stroman. Van, let me introduce you to Dr. Stroman. Always introduce your prospect to the expert. It's not ego. It's just a matter of it gives it more leverage. And that's all I say. This is not the time for me to say, listen, this is Dr. Stroman, the gentleman I told you about. I've already done that to Van, and I've already done that with Dr. Stroman. So when I do the call, all I'm doing is say, listen, Van, I was able to catch Dr. Stroman. Van, let me introduce you to Dr. Stroman, Mr. Stroman. Now it's up to Dr. Stroman. What he'll generally say, listen, man, you could call me Pearl or Anthony, whatever name he wants to use. So once I introduce him to Dr. Stroman, I put a zip on my lip and I just wait. And one thing you never do, you never interrupt the expert, even if he messed up and said something that was not exactly correct. You want to always give him deference again. So once you do that, and you wait for him to bring you back to the call. So now Dr. Stroman's talked to Van. He said, listen, Van, how you doing, sir? And you can actually call me Anthony. I understand that you are a successful person in your field, in power washing. You're also a man of faith. Great to meet you. Let me ask you, Van, what did you like most about what you heard or saw? Van would tell him, what he liked, what he saw. And he said, great, he may have a conversation. Sometime you'll, knowing their personality, you may say something to have fun with them. And then once you do that, at some point you can say, listen, man, do you have any questions? And this way, Dr. Stroman can answer the questions he may have. He said, great, we're having a call tonight, and I understand you want more information. Let me ask you, is 8 o'clock good for you, or is 10 o'clock better? So I always give him a choice of calls. Then once he does, I'm gonna say, great. Van will give you the details. I mean, Derek will give you the details of the call. I look forward to hearing you. And afterwards, is it okay if we call you after the call or the next day? What is better for you? So what you're doing, you're setting up the close afterwards. So that was an example of a three-way call to a Zoom call. Now, what if it's the person's already seen a Zoom call, and now you want to close the deal? So it's a different conversation. Now I'm calling Dr. Strom. I said, listen, Dr. Strom, you remember the gentleman Van that I told you about that you met?
Yeah.
He was on the call, right? I said, great. He was on the call, so I'm going to now get him back on the call. And you can help me, close him out. So I'll call Van and say, Van, listen, thank you for getting on the call. Listen, Dr. Stroman and my presenter, he can ask any questions, and I'd like to have you meet him again. Let me get him on the call. So I'll get back on the call, say, Van, here's Dr. Stroman. Dr. Stroman takes the call over. He said, listen, Van, thank you for getting on the call. I know you saw a lot of things, a lot of questions. Do you have any questions about what you heard now? No. I ask the same question. Are you interested now in improving and have better health? Are you interested in making money? Or are you interested in both? And once Van's telling what he does, and then he would just guide him and say, listen, since you're interested in both, I recommend you get started at a brand partner. I highly recommend you get started at the premium level. If it works for you, if not, get in where you fit in. But the bottom line is get yourself started. We're going to get your business launched right away. How quickly do you want to start being in and start earning income? He may say, shoot, I want to start earning right away. Say, great, then we need to schedule a launch call for you. Get some people that we're going to walk you through the details of it. And let's set that up this week. Preferably you want to do a Zoom call, a launch within 72 hours of somebody getting started. I know some people think, well, I don't have enough time. I said, but you want to create the sense of urgency. The sooner you do it, the faster you have success. Because if you have a Zoom call this week, guess what? You can start earning your first check next week because we get paid on a weekly basis. Today is Sunday. We get paid from Sunday to Sunday. So whatever you do between Monday and Sunday at midnight gets calculated, and on Tuesday you'll have it already in your wallet office. So the way the three-way call works, like I said, it's a three-way process. There's trust between you and your prospect. You edify the expert. When you edify the expert, that creates trust between the expert and the prospect. And the purpose of the three-way call is either to help somebody get on a Zoom call or help close somebody out. Again, if you ever feel intimidated, if you get somebody you're not sure what to say, and you want to have somebody help you with that, sometimes that's all it takes. And so that's the three-way call. Before I'm going to ask Emerson to kind of share his experience with the three-way call. But does anybody have any calls at all about how the three-way calls work? This call is recorded, so you'll be able to hear it, play it over again, over again. And also, we have a weekly call on Sunday, opposite our Huddle call, which we get on from some time to time. And Z.R. Kendrick does that call. He does a great job of explaining it. If you go to the YouTube channel, some of the other trainers have trained on this and other calls. So anybody have any questions about the three-way call and how it works? And I just realized I was on video all that time.
Great job, man. Great job.
Thank you,
Yeah.
man. Appreciate it. Any questions at all? Anybody? And if you're not sure how to do it, call us. We can practice it. We can practice with each other. Generally, when we have more time, we'll actually do some role playing. So we'll do role playing on one of the other calls. And so be ready. And again, and don't be afraid. The best way to practice is to do it in front of your peers. Because again, you get a chance to learn it and you figure out what works and what doesn't work. So if nobody has any questions, I'm going to ask Emerson if he could take a few minutes to talk about his experience with three-way calls. And Emerson, are you there?
I am, sir. Hope you can hear me.
We can hear you. I know you got to use all the strength you got to go ahead and
Oh, yeah, we fight this bug that we got going on, but that's okay.
Yeah.
One of the things that, whoa, you disappeared. Are you still there? Oh,
We're still there. Yeah, we can hear you. We just, yeah.
Right. One of the things that happened with me, and it happens with a lot of us sometimes, we allow our heads to get in our own way. And they had talked about three-way calls early. I had used it early, had some success with it, but I drifted away from it. And I drifted away from it because I said, well, you should know how to do this, or you should be able to do this. It's not about whether you can do it or not. It's the validation portion that you need with the third person online. You need that third person because the three-way call we just did recently, the young lady, I've been working with her 4 months, trying to get her to make the next move. And I was about to the top of my, I was at the end, wit's end. That's what I'm looking for. I was at my wit's end and not being able to go any further. So I asked Derek about, can we do a three-way? Well, once I zipped my lip, Derek took it. And he just asked question after question after question after question in order to bring her out of this merry-go-round that she was on. I think it's the only way I can describe it when she was dealing with me. Because again, he brought that validity. He brought, this is a real deal. This is a real business. I might want to do this. As a matter of fact, I'm going to ask him to do one. I'm going to have him there for the closing because that should be the next part that I do with her on that in her process. But the main thing that I want to share with everybody is, and again, I apologize. Me and the flu bug, we've been a little dancing around the room, and right now I'm winning, but hopefully I continue to win. But the process is, and they've told us all this, and for some reason, sometimes, and Dr. Stroman always talks about that 6 inches between your ears. You got to let go, folks, and you just got to use a process. Use the process, be available for other folks, use three-way calls. If you do that, I think we'll see even greater success because when I think about how many folks I may have put in the can because I didn't do that, I'm kind of upset with myself. So from now on, here's the other thing I want to say too. And Derek said it again tonight. Just because you've been in it for 6 months, because you've been in it for a while, I'm new at this. So let me get somebody who can help me. That's a very powerful line. And it helps them relax about what they're getting ready to learn. So that's all that I had. It worked very well. The young lady is, like I said, she's about ready to sign on the bottom line, sir.
Thank you for sharing that, Emerson. Again, anybody have any questions about three-way call? And we're going to wrap up some. I'm going to go through the 4 ways we get compensated real quickly because we still have new people, and
I'd like to make one.
Go ahead, Van. Absolutely.
Yeah, I've been in sales for 45 years, and this is called a TO. So you're appealing on a higher authority on that person's behalf. As the gentleman just said, they may have doubts about you, but when you bring somebody expert in, that adds validity to what's going on. They'll trust them more than they know you because they know you and they're like, well, this guy just started with this thing. I don't know. Is he really doing this? Is he making any money? You know what I mean?
Right.
But when you do that, there's power in that. We used to do it on the phone when I was selling security systems. It's called a TO. Turn it over to a higher authority, and it works beautifully. That's it.
All right. Turnover, TO. I learned something new today. Thank you, Van. All right, so this is going to be the last thing we cover today. With regard to the 21-day challenge, just watch yesterday's replay of the Saturday training. That call is phenomenal with Pastor Shuttlesworth. He really did a phenomenal job. He has a book out. So just very quickly, there's 4 ways we currently get compensated. And the first thing you want to do is you get paid when you enroll a brand partner. A brand partner, when they sign up, they're going to get either the core, the advanced, or the premium pack. And depending on the pack they select, you're going to either earn $35, $75, or $405 when they get started. So one-time bonus, and it's called product introduction bonus. It's exactly how it sounds. It's a bonus for introducing someone who gets started. They get their product, they get on a good start, and you also get points. We always talk about the binary commissions, which is the second way we get compensated, is based on volume. And as you can see at the core level, there's 180 points that you can earn. With the advanced is 300 points, and at the premium is 745 points, but they spread it out over 3 months. So when somebody gets a premium pack, they assign a certain amount. I think it's 500 or so points in the first month, and then the next 2 months they give you the 110, 110. So the person with your premium pack they don't have to do a auto shipment through 30 or 90 days. So for the next 2 months, they don't have to place an order. So it's 90 days out before they have to place their next order to stay qualified. So again, you want to keep that in mind. Somebody can literally get started today, and again, everybody can earn this. Even someone who gets started there's a position called a starter pack. We don't talk about a lot, but the starter pack basically is you pay $25 and you are a brand partner, but you just don't have any product yet. So you don't have points built up. But again, even if you're a starter, you can sign someone up as a premium, and guess what? You can make $405 and now buy your own kit. You can get started with the others. But the bottom line is, it's a one-time payment. It's a product deduction bonus. When you get the core, the advanced, or the premium pack, that $25 annual membership is waived. So you have a whole nother year before you have to pay the $25 fee that keeps you in status. So that's the first way we get paid, the product introduction bonus. The second way is the binary commissions. The first thing you want to do in this business is you want to be what's called. Somebody had a question? First you want to do is you want to be binary qualified. Binary qualified means you have one person on your left and one person on your right, and they have to be at least a core member or above. And if they do, you are now what's called binary qualified. And that means you're eligible to earn up to $100 per week in the binary. But again, you're just starting out, so that opens up the gate for you to start earning commissions. And when you get started, when somebody enrolls you, you're going to automatically go to what's called their strong side. And their strong side is generally where the highest volume is. So when you come into an organization, the company already sets it so you go to the strong side unless that person already sets it to the other side. We'll talk about that later. So when you get started, your first goal is to get binary qualified, which means one person in the left and one person in the right. So as soon as you sign your first person, you have to go into your back office and change it so the next person comes on the other side. And if you don't know how to do that, just reach out to us. We're sure how to do it. You go into your settings on your profile page, and if you scroll down, you're going to see where do you want that next person to come in. So again, and you have to be active. To be active, you have to have a minimum of 55 points every 31 days to be qualified. And 55 points, again, if you start with the X39, the X39 is worth 77 points. So if you at least have ownership with the X39, you will always be active. Now, the reason it's important to be active is because every month, as people start to join after you, they're going to be underneath you. So if you came on the left side, and you're enrolling, sign somebody up next week on your left side, that person automatically goes underneath you. The person that's above the person that enrolled you, if they bring somebody in the left side, that person also goes under you. So you're going to have people you're going to start accumulating volume underneath you, even though you had nothing to do with all of the volume, but it all counts towards what's called commissionable volume. That means as it accumulates, eventually it's going to convert to what we call a cycle bonus. And I'll explain in a minute. So again, first thing is become active. The next goal is actually to be what's called a manager. A manager is somebody who has two people on the left and two people on the right, at the least a core above, that are active. And once you become manager, now you can earn up to $1,500 per week. Now, so before you get manager, you can only earn $100 a week. Even if there's more than $100 sitting there to be earned, you don't lose it. You just don't get the full amount until you actually get to the manager level. So it's just 4 people. And that's why it's important to do a launch, because if you do a launch and you invite 10 to 20 people, you're generally going to find 6 to 8 people that are either become brand partners or customers, and sometimes even more than that. But you can literally become a manager in overnight if you do a launch call, as opposed to doing what we call onesies and twosies, one here, one there, one next month, one this month. Again, so the second goal is to become a manager. And the way the binary commissions work is anytime you have a total of 330 points of volume on your one side, in this case it's the left side, and 660 on the other side, that represents what's called a cycle. So every time that happens, the company's going to send you a $50 bonus, whether it happens once a week, once a day, once an hour. Every time that volume accumulates, you can earn $50. So let's say you had a volume of 660 on one side and 12, 20, 13, 20 other side. That's 2 cycles. So we'd earn $100 that day or that week based on that commission. And then once that happens, they remove it, but it keeps accumulating. That is why over time, you'll start to see the volume increase into where you may have, there's some people that are literally got started who have tens of thousands of points on one side and maybe not enough on the other, but that volume is sitting there waiting for them to collect it if they go to work. So again, but just remember, a cycle represents 330 on one side, 660 on the other. Every time you see that happen, you're going to get a $50 bonus or cycle bonus. And again, no matter how many times that happens. Now, there's maximums amounts, and it's based on your position. So when you first get started, the most you can earn once you binary qualified is $100 per week. And as you can see, once you become a manager, it jumps to $1,500 per week. Once you become director, it's $2,500 a week. Senior director, $3,500 a week, all the way up to $25,000 a week for the senior presidential director. So over time, if you just sit around long enough, there are some people who are going to maximize this compensation plan not by mistake, but just because they're in the right place at the right time. Because you might invite somebody who goes to work on either side who are really blowing it up. But as long as you're in position, you're going to start to earn those bonuses as well. Okay. So again, that's the maximum you can earn, $25,000 per week. Not bad for a maximum. That is called the binary commission. That's the second way we get compensated. The third way we get compensated is a matching bonus, and the matching bonus is based on the binary as well. So when you enroll someone, and let's say your name is Van, and you introduce Kurt. Kurt is on Van's first generation. So whatever Kurt earns, and Van's the manager, he's going to earn 25% match. So let's say he's just getting started. He earns his $100 a week, his first week. Or let's say he signs up a couple of people. But let's say he's $100 in that week. Van's earning $25 bonus or commission. But it's not going to come out of what Kurt owns. Kurt's going to still get his commission, but he's going to earn 25%. But what if Van had a good week and he earned $1,000 this week? He's going to earn $250. That is for every person that Van personally enrolls. So if he enrolls 10 people, that's 10 times the 25% of the volume. 20 people. So there's people that enroll 50, 100 people. There's no limit to the number of people you can enroll, but you're going to get a 25% match on the first level, but you have to be paid as a manager or above. Okay. And you have to be active. Now, in this case, you have to have 2-sleeve authorship to be a manager, or 110 points. Now, 110 points could be two X39 sleeves, or it could be one X39 and one of the other sleeves. They have less volume, but it'll still be 110 points, depending on what sleeve you get. Okay. Now, obviously, Kurt knows people that Van doesn't know. So the people that Kurt introduces to LifeWave, they're going to be on his first level. So he's going to be in a position to earn 25% of the people that he enrolled. But because that person is on Van's second generation, Van's going to earn 20% of the people that Kurt enrolled, whether he knows them or not, whether they're in the US or Canada or Germany or whatever country we're in the UK, he's going to earn 20% match. So anybody that Kurt enrolls that earns $1,000 that week, Van's going to earn $200 for each and every person that he signs up. Now it goes to the third level where you're going to get 20% match again. So you're talking about 3 levels where you get a matching bonus. It's really an incentive for you to help them, because if Van knows that he's going to earn 25% on what Kurt does, do you think Van's going to help Kurt every way he can? Absolutely. Do you think he's going to earn the person on the second or the third? Anybody to work with, because everybody's, as you heard the term, we in business for yourself but not by yourself. This is really what happened. All right. And that's the third way we get compensated. And the fourth way we get compensated currently is called retail profit. And the way that works is simply if somebody wants to buy the patches wholesale, it's going to cost them $149.95. You're going to earn $50 one time when they do that, but you also get 77 points. Again, that becomes commissionable volume. So you're getting paid 2 ways when you sign someone up as a retail customer. Now, somebody that's a preferred customer, they basically going to get a chance to purchase the product at the retail at the same price that we get it, the wholesale price. They're going to get it for $99.95, but they agree that they're going to set up an order ship, which means they're going to get paid. They're going to order a shipment every month, every 30 days. It used to be 43 points. I think they're going to change that now that you get the full 77 points on that customer. And when that happens is you're going to earn a $20 commission every time they place an order. So if you want to make $100 a month and pay for your patches, get 5 customers. Get 10 customers, that covers your order ship for 2 sleeves, and again, and towards managed. So you can literally do this business without coming out your own pocket by simply getting customers and brand partners. So again, everybody can do that. Now, there's something called Preferred Customer Plus. The difference between a Preferred Customer and Preferred Customer Plus is simply this. A Preferred Customer, again, you're going to earn $20 every time they place an order. But every 3 months, they're going to get a sample of one of the other LifeWay product patches. That's going to help you maybe get some more vitamin if they find something else they want to use or like. If they become a preferred customer plus, it costs them $25 a year. It's a membership fee, but they're going to get a sample every month. So every 30 days, they're going to get a sample of a different patch. But they also can refer other people. And I think if they refer at least 3 other customers, they're going to be able to get points that count towards their own orders. All right. And again, so these are just the qualifications. We talk about the paid as rank. We talked about being binary qualified. That's your first goal. You have to be active. That means you have to have at least 55 points. Again, if you order one sleeve a month, you're going to have more than 55 points. You're going to have 77 points. And one personally sponsored active brand partner in your each leg, left and right. To be a manager, you need to have 2 what they call personally sponsored active brand partners, one in the left, one in the right. And again, once you do 2 on each side, you become manager. Director is helping 2 people become manager, but you also have to have 3 brand partners, 3 on the left and 3 on the right, so a total of 6. And that is why we talk about the power of 6 on a Wednesday call. But again, don't worry about the details of it. Just focus on becoming binary qualified, becoming manager, helping the people that you will become manager. If you do that, you're going to eventually start moving up through the ranks and get compensated. So that's the compensation plan. Again, I know we went a little over. Does anybody have any question before we close out? I think that was the last thing I wanted to cover. Any questions?
No questions, but thank you, Derek, as always. Great training.
Thank you all. So before we close out, again, I want to thank Dr. Stromer for contributing and that about our training. I am recording this call, so I'll record it and sometime tomorrow I'll have it out so you can watch it over and over again. Obviously, you're not going to pick up everything in one session, but at least you can play, rewind, play, rewind, play, rewind, and that'll help you have success. Just remember, Erica McQueen has her 1 o'clock patch cast, as she call it, on Mondays at 1 p.m. If anybody has a testimony and want to contribute, let me know. I'll let her know. And then obviously you have the 8 o'clock and 10 o'clock calls tomorrow. So we have 3 opportunities tomorrow to get people in front of the information. But again, you don't have to wait till those times. You can also use the replay. And again, if you did not watch yesterday's training, make sure you watch it, whether it's tonight or tomorrow. Make sure you watch that training. Pastor Shuttlesworth did a phenomenal job explaining. I mean, he used biblical philosophies in terms of how to have success in LifeWay. All right, so with that, I want to thank everybody for their time. Everybody have a good night, happy Sunday, and I will see you all on the beaches of the
Beaches
world.
of the world.
Yes, all right, absolutely.
Thanks, Jerry. Appreciate you.
Thank you all. Appreciate you. Everybody have a good night. Stop the recording first.